Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. And I'm excited to say this is the beginning of season 2 of the Bottle Poppin' Podcast.
Woo!
So, yeah, 52 episodes out in the world. This is number 53. So
Yes.
What are we popping open today?
We are going to talk about something a little fun today. We're going to talk about the holiday oils. Now, these are not always available. These would be considered limited time offers, but when they are available, people love them and they go quickly. So we will talk a little bit about the 3 main ones that seem to come out yearly. And every now and then there's something different too, but we're going to focus on these 3. First up, since we are in the fall season when we are recording this, we're going to start off with Harvest Spice.
I love this one. And as the name would imply, it would be a fall one, fall scents.
Yeah, and honestly, as soon as I opened the bottle and just had it sitting there, I could already smell it, even with the lovely diffuser blend we'll talk about later that's going on behind me.
Mm-hmm. Yep, totally agree. So you want to tell us what all is in Harvest Spice?
Sure thing. So this one is Cassia, clove, eucalyptus, cedarwood, nutmeg, and cinnamon bark. And it smells like the perfect combination of all of those things. This one is just fall spice just bursting out of the bottle. I love this one.
I love this one too. I think the only thing missing with this, and I mean, thankfully this is really easy to add, I wish it had a citrus oil with it, like a wild orange. So in the diffuser, I like to add wild orange to it, but I think it's just because I've shared this before, but growing up around Thanksgiving and then really through the end of the year, my mom would oftentimes take an actual orange and put cloves in it and a cinnamon stick and put it on stovetop with water and just have it like boiling anytime people would come over to be like a homemade diffuser. And so yeah, this brings back all of those fun holiday memories for me.
Yes, and we would do the same from Swedish tradition with the oranges and the clove buds. And so we've created just a diffuser blend with just wild orange and clove before too. I can see where you say the citrus with this, but I do think that would completely change the scent. And
it would.
I really like this one the way it is. So I think being able to add the orange separately is a nice touch.
Yeah. And I do for sure just diffuse this straight without anything added as well. It's fun to be able to change things up as well when you want to.
Agreed. And again, these are strictly diffuser blends that we're going to talk about today. These aren't for internal use. So diffusers, obvious, but other things I've used this for is we'll have a little potpourri bowl sitting in the bathroom that I can change the oils out through the time. So in the fall, this is the number 1 oil that goes into that. I just put a few drops right over what it's like little pine cones and different dried flowers, things like that are in potpourri mixes. And so I'll just put a few drops over there and then I'll just stir that stuff around every now and then just to get the scent strong again. Okay, the next 2 that we're going to talk about are usually released in November. And so you've got plenty of time to get it in November so that you can have it through the rest of the winter season.
And I will say, though, you say you have plenty of time, but these will sell out. So don't think it will be available in November. I'm going to wait until December because they might not be available by December.
Oh, totally agree. No, when you see this get released, you buy it immediately.
Yes.
Now, oftentimes they'll include these with different things. I've seen them included with a little ornament that you can hang on the Christmas tree. It's a little, I think it's clay or something, and that you can put a few drops directly onto the ornament. So sometimes they'll come with something else when they're released for the holidays. But yes, when you see these, do not wait. Just get them right then. And you'll want both of them. They both smell good in their own right.
They definitely do. So Holiday Joy specifically, I think was the first holiday oil blend that doTERRA sold. Maybe they smelled it as well. And I love the smell of this. And I think it's named perfectly. Like when I smell this, it brings back almost joyful childhood memories.
I'm sitting here smiling. Yes.
Yeah, same. We're both smiling because it smells so good. And I do know there are a lot of people who don't have joyful memories tied to the holiday. But this does have oils in it that naturally bring joy to you. And so even though we said that all 3 of these oils are primarily for diffusing, I have before used this as a perfume to lift my spirits. And it works really well. And everybody comments on how good you smell if you were to do this.
Oh, that is actually a great idea. And again, I guess you could apply topically really easily. And I've put things on scarves before.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just on you and your person. So when you walk by, you can smell it too. But yes, I think this one would be good for that too. So let's talk ingredients. So this one, Holiday Joy, has Siberian Fir, wild orange, clove bud, cinnamon bark, cassia, Douglas fir, nutmeg, and then vanilla absolute.
Mm-hmm.
So you have quite a few that were in that harvest spice, but now we do have that wild orange and we've got the fir oils in here too. And I will say too, there's not many podcasts where, okay, we smell the oils and then we talk about them, but I don't keep them held to my nose. How long have I held this up to my nose?
I've been doing it too. I keep on taking the lid off and smelling it again. It's like getting a hit of the good stuff.
It smells so good. I guess I smell maybe a little bit of the cinnamon bark first, but it has so many underlying scents. With the Siberian Fir would be my second thing that I get.
That would be my number one.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So, and ironically, going back to Joyful Memories, we had a Christmas book as a kid that was Scratch and Sniff, and Siberian Fir specifically smells 100% like that scratch, like one of the scratch and sniff parts of the book. And so again, this just brings back fun memories of that book.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I can't stop smelling it. Okay, so this one, obviously in the diffuser, we've talked about wearing it on our person or scarf or something like that. A couple years ago, I got gingerbread men felt shapes from one of the craft stores. And then I got holiday garland and I put a few drops of this along it. And then when I hung the garland, every time you'd walk past it, you would get a scent of this. And it was just wonderful. So that's an easy way to use this in more places throughout the house without having to run a diffuser all the time too.
Yeah, I love that. And I don't know if you've experienced this, but I feel like certain oils, if you were to put it on felt, it would smell good for a few hours and then you wouldn't smell it. But a lot of these stronger scents like the cinnamon and cassia and even the fir oils, I feel like they last longer. And so you could do that and like a week later still walk by and smell them. And that's kind of lovely too.
Totally agree.
Okay, so our third oil we're going to talk about is
Holiday Peace. All right, let me take a whiff of this one. Oh, completely different. It's completely different. Okay, so this one is Siberian Fir, grapefruit peel, which is the first scent I think I get now. Douglas fir, Himalayan fir, frankincense, and then vetiver root.
So I love this one as well. And it's funny, I think the naming is so good because the joy one definitely brought me up. This one, smelling it, I do feel like this calmness coming over me as I'm smelling it. Do you feel the same way?
Totally. Both of us, like our faces look relaxed versus the last one, like we were both, our smiles were really high. Not that we're not smiling still, right. But no, in fact, this one says specifically woody grounding scent. So yes, I feel very relaxed with this one. On that note, I think that I put the Holiday Joy on the garland, like what I was talking about before. This one could easily, if the house is a little bit hyped up, this would be a good one to be diffusing or putting out if you just wanted to kind of keep everything a little bit more chilled out.
An emotion, I feel too, smelling this, and I don't know if this is somewhere in emotion books, but I feel like deep contentment smelling it, which would be interesting too. I think a lot of times with holidays, people have super high expectations and then could be disappointed either with the way that they envisioned a holiday party going versus the way it actually went, or expecting a gift that you don't get. Like I could see how this oil could be very therapeutic for those situations as well.
Okay, so I'm picturing two different uses between Holiday Joy and Holiday Peace. Holiday Joy, I see being diffused for the holiday party that people are having. They're going to have a lot of close friends. There's music and everybody comes in happy. Everybody's enjoying themselves. the holiday piece, I feel people diffusing when they know they're going to have some family members over for the holiday, that it's a little bit more stressful and they're anticipating that it's not going to go as well, like you were just saying. And so now this is diffusing to kind of keep that calm and hopefully keep everybody pleasant and happy. So
totally
they're both
agree.
lovely.
Yeah. And ironically, I mean, I just now remembered this, but I for sure driving to a family holiday event where there was going to be, probably some contention, diffusing this in the car ride over there. Super helpful.
That's very smart.
Yeah. And again, you could wear it as your perfume, just dab a little behind your ears, put it on a scarf you're wearing, something like that. And it could help with that as well.
I've put it in my hands and ran it through my hair. So you can kind of keep smelling it that way too.
Yeah. And the grapefruit in it actually will make your hair a little bit more shiny, which is lovely. So I will say with both of these oils, the Holiday Peace and Holiday Joy, I have used them before on wreaths. And so not putting it directly on the wreath, but putting a drop or two on a cotton ball and then tucking the cotton ball into the wreath where you can't see it. But that way it's like on the front door. And when people come in, just the movement of the wreath, they're smelling that. And then this isn't a holiday specific oil, but just a tip. One year we had a serious moth problem where the moths wanted to eat my wreaths. And I think it's because we had it was actually a fall wreath and it has balls of cotton, which obviously moths would be into that. And then also had some type of cotton flower type thing. But I did a drop of cedar wood, again, on a cotton ball, hid it inside the wreath, and the moths totally left it alone once we did that. So if you experience that, I highly recommend doing that as well.
Good tip.
Yeah.
So let's say these oils sell out, but people still want to be able to recreate holiday scents. I think you have a fall one, right?
Okay. So I actually have two good suggestions for fall. First of all, just using On Guard smells like fall to me.
That's
and
a great
diffusing
idea.
that not only is going to kill all the germs that come with fall, but also give you that good scent. So that's a really simple fall diffuser blend or just fall scent in general. But secondly, I found a fun recipe that's called Autumn Air, and it is 2 drops of peppermint, 2 drops of eucalyptus, and 3 drops of cassia oil. And I bet that would smell really good. And then on top of that, that eucalyptus is going to give you a boost with being able to breathe easier. And you could use our brand new eucalyptus with that. So that's a fun one I'm going to try out this fall.
I like it. Okay. So it's winter now and we don't have access to Holiday Joy or Holiday Peace.
They've already sold out.
Yes, I know. So you and I both immediately thought the new Guaiacwood would be awesome for a winter blend because it's got that smoky fire smell to it. So we both kind of took a similar but slightly different twist. We don't have a name for this yet. They're both a little bit different. It's kind of a create your own. So I did 6 drops of Guaiacwood, 2 drops of Siberian Fir, and 1 drop of peppermint. And I am currently feeling like I am sitting in a cozy cabin. It's snowing outside. The fire's going over here. I've got a tree in the corner that smells good. I've got like peppermint cocoa or something in my hand. I'm good to go.
That's so strange because you are sitting in the same cabin I am. But my smell is different.
Tell me your smell.
In fact, when you said we don't have a name for it, I was like, I do. Mine is called Cozy Cabin. I don't know what she's talking about. But then you described my cozy cabin. But again, the main oil in my blend right now is Guaiacwood as well. And if you listen to, I guess it was last episode, we talked specifically about Guaiacwood. And so far, my experience with Guaiacwood is that it's not it smells strong out of the bottle, but when you put it in a diffuser, it's not strong at all. Like it's not overpowering. It's a really subtle smell. So that's why Heather said 6 drops. Normally, if I was doing a blend, I wouldn't do 6 drops of any of them, but I do think that that's necessary. So I did 6 drops of Guaiacwood, 3 drops of Siberian Fir, and then I tried to do 2 drops of Cassia because Cassia is a pretty strong smelling oil. And yeah, everything that Heather just described, that cozy cabin in the woods. You probably have some like Christmas jazz music softly going on. You've got the Christmas tree lit up. You look out the window and there's just like drifts of snow coming down. All of those feelings come from this blend, and it's awesome. I'm very happy in my home, even though it's like 80 degrees outside and sunny.
And maybe you don't have the like peppermint cocoa in your hand because you're baking cookies in the oven because you've got that Cassia smell happening with yours. But I like that this was interchangeable. I mean, you could kind of play around with this. You could use a different fir oil, but the Guaiacwood, I smell a little bit of the smoke part with it, and then I get a little bit of the fir oil, and the peppermint just kind of blends them together.
Yeah, totally agree. And we were talking about this as well. Either one of these blends would be awesome with a drop or two of doTERRA vanilla oil added to it as well, just to take it to that next level. So yeah, it was super fun. I don't know that we have just on the spot made up a essential oil blend for the podcast, but these were both really fun.
Yeah, and I'm going to try yours next. I'm still living mine, but I'm going to try yours next time I need to go to that cabin too.
Right. So really, there's so many different oils that work well for this season. So just if you're looking for inspiration, any of the fir oils, any of the mint oils, cassia and cinnamon are pretty interchangeable, but they are distinctly different. Cassia is actually one of my husband's favorite oils, and he calls it snickerdoodle oil because it's a little bit sweeter smelling than cinnamon. It's also more affordable, which is a nice bonus.
Yeah, we actually did a comparison podcast with cassia and cinnamon bark. So if you're interested in the difference of those, you can look back and find that one.
Yeah. Clove oil, I also think, is awesome for any of these holiday blends. Citrus oils always go well with all of that. And then vanilla oil. So you have a lot of different ways to play around with it. If you're not able to get one of these 3 holiday oils that we've featured in this podcast, you still have a lot of options. And always feel free to reach out to us if you have questions. Maybe you don't have most of those oils, or you have those oils and you're not sure how many drops to do in it. We'd love to connect with you. So reach out, ask us your questions about making your own diffuser blend, and we are happy to guide you. If you want to spread some joy, please share this podcast with other people as well, because I'm sure they're looking for those good, healthy holiday scents.
Definitely. We hope you've got some inspiration from today.
Mm-hmm. So one last thing that just came to mind for me is that if you use and love holiday scented candles, I really want to encourage you to get a diffuser and get a few oils that smell like the holidays. So scented candles, for the most part, and when I say the most part, I mean like 99% of scented candles out there are filled with endocrine disruptors and chemicals that you don't want to be breathing in. You don't want to add that extra stress to your body, especially during the holidays. And so if you just love the look of candles like I do, get some unscented candles, ideally that are like soy-based or wax-based and don't have other things mixed in with it. Or just use a diffuser. You're going to get all of those good smells and you have control of what you're putting in it. And since we're using pure doTERRA oils, we know there's nothing else in there. And not only is it going to impact your emotions, but it's also going to impact your health because you're not breathing in all of those harmful chemicals. So just really want to encourage you to start giving up toxic candles. I know it can be hard because I feel like that's part of the essence of the holidays for many of us in our decor. But you can change it out and still have all of those lovely scents with oils.
Thank you, Meg. I think that was definitely worth mentioning because I think that is a struggle for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, we hope that you found this helpful. And also, we really hope you enjoyed this specific podcast. As a reminder, the third Thursday of every month, we do have an Ask Us Anything Zoom call. It's just 30 minutes, but we would love to connect with you. And so you can find that on any of our social media or on our website. And we'd love to have you join us. It's at 7 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.